Seller's Property Disclosure Statement, page 1 of 9. The first line is the property address. The second is the seller's name. In lines 3 through 7, the real estate seller's disclosure law requires that a seller of a property must disclose to a buyer all known material defects about the property being sold that are not readily observable. While the law requires certain disclosures, this statement includes disclosures beyond the basic requirements of the law in an effort to assist sellers in complying with seller disclosure requirements and to assist buyers in evaluating the property being considered. Sellers who wish to use the basic disclosure form can find the form on the website of the Pennsylvania State Real Estate Commission. Lines 8 through 14. This statement discloses seller's knowledge of the condition of the property as the date signed by seller and is not a substitute for any inspections or warranties that the buyer may wish to obtain. This statement is not a warranty of any kind by seller or a warranty or representation by any listing real estate broker, any selling real estate broker, or their licensees. Buyers encouraged to address concerns about the conditions of the property that may not be included in this statement. This statement does not relieve the seller of the obligation to disclose a material defect that may not be addressed on this form. Any non-exempt seller is obligated to complete this form even if the seller does not occupy or has never occupied the property. For a full list of exempt sellers, see information regarding the real estate seller's property disclosure law found on the last page of this document. Line 15 through 18. A material defect is a problem with a residential real property or any portion of it that would have a significant adverse impact on the value of the property or that involves an unreasonable risk to the people on the property. The fact that a structural element, system, or subsystem is at or beyond the end of its normal useful life of such a structural element, system, or subsystem is not by itself a material defect. You will see 3 sections below on this bottom of this page. The 3 sections are the seller's expertise, the ownership and occupancy, and condominiums and planned communities and other homeowners associations. Under seller's expertise, does the seller possess an expertise in contracting, engineering, architecture, environmental assessment, or other areas related to the construction and conditions of the property and its improvements? B. Is the seller the landlord of the property? C. Is the seller a real estate licensee? If you answer yes to this last question, you need to fill in the reason why. Are you a real estate broker? Real estate licensee? Are you a transactional licensee? In the next section, ownership and occupancy. When was the property most recently occupied? We're looking for a date here. 2. Was the seller the most recent occupant? If no, when did the seller most recently occupy the property? 3. How many persons most recently occupied the property? Under the role of individual completing this disclosure, is the individual completing this form the owner, or the executor, the administrator, the trustee, or an individual holding power of attorney? And when was this property purchased? And D, are you aware of any pets having lived in the house or other structures during your ownership? If yes, please explain. In the next section, condominiums, planned communities, and other homeowners associations. In section A, is the property part of a condominium, homeowners association or planned community, a cooperative, or other type of association or community? B. If yes, how much are the fees? Monthly, quarterly, or yearly? If yes, there are any community services or systems that the association or community is responsible for supporting or maintaining? Please explain. At the bottom of the page, you will need to put your seller's initials and the date as well.